Hi, today I'd like to show you how to add a third color into your brioche knitting. Now, there are a lot of ways to do this, but I'm going to show you the technique that I developed that involves combining brioche with stranded knitting or mosaic knitting in order to create an effect where you have one color as your background color and two colors as your foreground colors. So here my green is my background color and my blue and my pink are my foreground colors. So I am on a row where I'm going to be working my blue and my pink, which in my patterns I usually call colors B and C. So I like to work stranded knitting holding one color of yarn in each hand, but you can do this holding them both in one hand or picking up and dropping the different colors as is comfortable for you. So this is one way to do it. So I simply work my regular brioche stitch, doing a bark and a slip one yarn over with my blue, and then doing a bark and a slip one yarn over with my pink, repeating all the way around. So bark, slip one yarn over with the blue, and then bark, slip one yarn over with the pink. And I will continue this all the way around my hat or whatever project it is you're working on. So I've finished my row working with colors B and C with my pink and blue, and now I need to work a row working with my color A or my green here. So I am going to slip one yarn over, brioche purl, slip one yarn over. Now you can see here that this pink strand came across both the yarn the stitch it's supposed to be wrapping and the next two stitches because of that float coming across to the next stitch that's knit in the pink. So I'm going to need to be careful to pick up this green and the pink that goes with it as I do my burp. Oops. There we go. And then I pull this off over the top, and that pink strand will now sit behind the blue. Do my slip one yarn over and brioche purl, and because of the logistics of how I carried my yarns, the blue, I won't have that issue, but the pink I will. Depending on how you carry your yarns, you may have more or less difficulty with this. You also, this will change depending on whether your slip one yarn overs are in place before your brioche knits of the same color or after them, and that may change pattern to pattern or even within a pattern. So don't assume that the order I've done it in this video is the same as what you're going to see in the pattern. You may have your yarn overs in different colors, so always check your pattern for that. So I'm just going to keep on working my way around here. Slipping that pink and making sure again to get that pink along with the green. Oops. Keep dropping that one. So I'm working around my color A row, my green row, and you can see that I've now gotten to a point where I had some cables here, and that caused a switch so that my slip one yarn over in my blue is now before my bark stitch, and the same with the pink instead of after like it was. Here you can see the blue stitch and it's slip one yarn over afterward. So you can see that depending on whether you work that stitch before or after the corresponding color knit stitch can affect how they sit as you're working your way around. And I find that when I work that slip one yarn over before, I have fewer issues with the yarn wanting to slip off. So, or that yarn over wanting to slip over the next few stitches. So it just makes it a little bit easier to work, and it just looks a little bit different. So you can see here, I'm slipping my pink, and then brioche purling the blue together with the green. Slip the blue, slip one yarn over with the blue, and then brioche purl the pink together with the green. And I will finish out the round this way, slip one yarn over, brioche purl. Almost there. Slip one yarn over, brioche purl, slip one yarn over, brioche purl, slip one yarn over, and you can see my pink yarn over has fallen down. Put that back on there before I do my last brioche purl. All right. So now I am ready to work with my pink and blue again. Now I want to show you another way to work this same technique. So the first way I showed you was working it like stranded knitting. Now I want to show you how to work it like mosaic knitting. So here we're just going to work one of our colors at a time. So I'm going to start with the blue. Whether you start with the blue or the pink, make sure you always keep it consistent and work in the same order. So I'm going to brioche knit my blue, slip one yarn over, and then I'm going to simply slip the next two stitches, knit my blue, slip one yarn over, and then slip the next two stitches, keeping the yarn to the back. Brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and slip my next two stitches with the yarn in back. And I'm going to continue that all the way around. Oops. Okay, so you can see I have finished working my way around with the blue, and now I'm going to continue working the same row, working my way around with the pink. So I'm going to slip that first stitch and then slip the second stitch with its yarn over. Now this yarn over, because it doesn't have anything holding it until that next knit stitch, may slip over the other two knit stitches. So similar to what we had when we were working the color A, we have to be careful to catch that yarn over and bring it to the back. And now I'm going to knit with my pink and slip one yarn over, and then slip this blue stitch and slip the green with its blue yarn over, keeping the pink yarn to the back. And then I will brioche knit with my pink, slip one yarn over, slip the blue stitch, and it's slip one yarn over, brioche knit with the pink, slip one yarn over, slip, slip, holding the yarn to the back, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, slip, slip. Now working this way is a little bit slower than working both colors at the same time because you do have to pass each of the stitches an extra time. But if you're not comfortable handling 2 yarns, that definitely can be a great way to build up practice with it, and be able to get the same stitches without having to worry about that second yarn at a time. One thing to think about, whether you work this technique like mosaic knitting or like stranded knitting, working both colors separately or working them at the same time, you want to be careful that you are not pulling your yarn too tight behind the stitches that you are slipping it with it, in order to avoid creating puckering and keeping your floats too tight. So you want to have nice, relaxed floats on the back of your work. So you can see that I have nice, even, relaxed floats going across the back of my knitting. And you just continue working all the way around doing this technique. I recommend, if you are going to be doing patterning like cables or increases and decreases in your 3-color brioche, they certainly can be done one at a time, but if you are comfortable working both colors at a time, it will make that process just a little bit easier. I'm going to finish up this row. All right, so I have just finished working around my pink and my blue, working one at a time. I'm going to do just a stitch or two with my green so that I don't lose my beginning of the round marker. There we go. And now you can see, whether you work sequentially, working one color at a time, or you work both colors at the same time, you can achieve the same effects, getting 2 colors in your foreground and 1 color in your background, and getting nice, even floats on the back side of your fabric. I hope this has been helpful. I've used this technique in several of my patterns, such as the Dulcify Hat and the Brainbow Cowl, and I hope you enjoy knitting those patterns or incorporating this into your own play with your brioche. Thanks for watching.